this is a little bit of a better explanation of what I was doing here, making these fittings. Um, this is a 1/2 inch black iron pipe, right? And if you ever did need to connect them together, which you're not really supposed to do, but people do it all the time, you use a threaded connection, right? That is a 1/2 inch male or 1/2 inch female adapter. Allows you to connect any 1/2 inch thread to copper. Now I went out and bought these. This is a reamed adapter. And I noticed on the inside, that's a 1/2 inch, this is a 3/4. See those threads? Just the very, very bottom, the very root of the thread. It had me realize that this company just takes regular 3/4 female adapters, and they just, like finished units, and then they ream them out, or in this case, bore them out on a lathe, and make a reamed adapter. Now, what is a reamed adapter? A reamed adapter is for brass pipe. This is brass water pipe. Now, typically, what do you do if you have a 20-foot long piece of brass or 10-foot long piece of brass and there's a hole right there? What do? How do you fix it? Well, it's all threaded together. So that would mean if this was up there, right, you would have to cut the pipe and then unthread it back to it wherever the pipe is, right? Unthread it, thread the new one in, and then make up the difference where you cut it with a union or like a double coupling and a little nipple. Now, that is all well and good, but in practice, you can't get these pipes apart usually. A lot of times, because they're over 100 years old, you go to unthread them and they just break and fall apart. So what does a reamed adapter do? This is what a reamed adapter does. You take, this is the factory bought one. You got your brass pipe that has a hole in it, right? You got a hole in it somewhere. You cut it, clean it up, and because it's brass, you can solder to it. So this is a fitting that's sized for IPS, right? You solder that, then solder in a piece of copper, and away you go. And that's what I made here. Mainly because of the cost, I was blown away with what these stupid things cost. And once I realized they just make them from other fittings, that's a 79-cent fitting. And I reamed it out on my lathe and made a reamed adapter. So that's what people go, oh, you're connecting iron to copper. You're not, but iron is IPS, just like brass is. IPS is the same size. And I had to go dig out an old piece of brass out of my scrap pile to show what these things are actually used for. But I just saved myself $80 in a matter of 30 minutes.